is saying that they will resist.
Oh, guess what? Welcome to the Tampa Bay Breakfast Club. I'm Kiana.
And I'm the one and only Mr. Edmund.
And we're brought to you by the New Image Project.
Better known as...
See that?
Thank you for helping us redefine what's cool. Because smart is the new...
gangster. And if you didn't know, now you know. Good morning, Mama Blue.
Can y'all hear me? Mama Blue, what's up, Mama Blue?
They can hear you because, boy, you back in the building.
I'm back.
You're back in the building.
Hey, I'm glad to be back, man. Y'all been doing a great job holding it down, man. Big shouts out to your brother John and Kiana. Kiana is the what they call it, the common denominator. Hey, and thank you for holding it down. I feel good to be back. And I'm ready to get into it.
You ready? Oh, you ready? Good morning, Tiffany. Good morning. Okay, so we had Friday. Okay, Monday we was talking about Father's Day and talking about like our best memories with our fathers and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's
good. And you know, I talked about my granddad and all this other stuff. But now, and my dad's. But now they say, welcome back, Jamar.
Hey, thank you. I'm glad to be back.
Now, what I will say, St. Pete. Even though we do some amazing stuff. But why we gotta go viral about a whole fight?
Oh man, it's for those who don't know. There's a viral video going around of a fight that happened at a nightclub here in St. Pete. Mm-hmm. It was a very, very graphic fight.
This is like the best videos I've ever seen.
And not blood and gore.
No.
It was
just real clear.
but I think that we do have a problem because, and it's not that people fight. People fight, you know, and it's sad that it's going on and it's hurting people's business. But now it's going viral. That's like a times 10. It's like a times 10.
I will tell you, when you go in these people establishment, mm-hmm. and a lot of people who go here don't understand what hard work and sweat and tears that go into these establishments. Mm-hmm. A lot of people life savings go into starting a business that they borrowed money. You know, they have investors that have believed in their dream and set up this stuff very nice for you to come in there and tear up these people's stuff.
People get on that alcohol and they ain't thinking about none of that. They thinking about whatever.
Don Julio make you act a foolio.
and I've been going around the web. There's a lot of people posting the fight. It's a lot of stuff, and it's people making comments about it. So if you have seen the infamous, they calling it the Father's Day Massacre video.
Yeah, they are.
You know, tell us what you think. My thought is, one is like people don't need to, you know, keep making this stuff worse. We live in a real city.
I'm gonna tell you, I'm so disappointed, but I know society, right? So we had a great moment when Super Cat came in here.
Yeah.
Right. And apologize.
You missed a couple good shows.
You missed a lot of good shows. So, and he came in here and apologized not only to me, but to everybody who came to the all white party, which I felt like should have been a viral moment. Y'all went and post and talked about when he went left, but when he came in to make it right and say apology, you know, he gave everybody what they asked for.
If it bleed, it lead.
And you know, and I'm like, dang, that should have been another viral moment in my mind.
And I big shouts out to Super Cat. And I agree. It took a lot of nerve, you know, a lot of manhood, you know, to come up and, you know, apologize publicly and, you know, say the things he said. But my number one thought is the social sites are financially rewarding people for this content, right? Mm-hmm. And what it is, it's like a self-defeating thing because, we hear you, Jabbar, but Facebook gonna give me a couple $1,000 if I record this video, if I upload this video of this person at his lowest point or one of his worst points in his life. If I record this video and post it, people are gonna laugh about it. People are gonna make memes about it, and I have a little 10 minutes, 5 minutes of success, because of it. And I think that's where our community has sunk to. And not just St. Pete, because I'm seeing a lot of people, St. Pete. Yeah, it's bad, it's horrible, but
I mean, I done seen fights other places too. That was, you know what I mean. It's just our time at this point that we had the viral video that went. Let me say that because I've seen other videos of big brawls and all that other stuff that went viral as well. This is just happened to be our hometown that the video.
And the worst thing about us don't define us.
No,
I think that's what we've been getting into the mood of. Is this is what we're known for. No, we're known for a lot of things. We're known for beautiful beaches. We're known for Black history. We're known for a lot of things. We're not known for a viral video that only gonna have a time span of a few days in a person's
but we do have a lot of we made some marks in history that will always stand the test of time. So when this video stopped, because another video will go viral again, and this won't be the topic any longer. Every Father's Day they might say, hey, you remember here they will wear, but other than that, just do better and think about these people businesses when you go when you're going in there more than anything else, because again, these people work really hard to give you an atmosphere somewhere that you can go and enjoy and unwind and relax.
Yes. Please, think about the businesses, and also, right? The minister said in a viral video, "Don't laugh when you see a man fall. Learn, right? And sometimes that's the hardest thing to do.
So let's learn. Y'all need to stop sagging y'all pants, cause see, listen, you're wearing your pants so back and belt up. Like, go ahead, because." Stop sagging, because you don't want nobody to be able to snatch your pants off that quick.
What is this, a new fighting technique?
Oh, no, I think it was more to embarrass somebody, right? When they realized that it was slipping, because they intentionally pulled it off. But this shows you a lesson in life. You need to be prepared and you dress properly. People can't snatch you. Yeah.
No,
they can't snatch it away from you so quick.
And and this is
Dan, I really can't read everything that Dan's saying because it's really blurry. But I know he's just saying that like it jeopardized, the investments.
This is what I'll say about like the number one rule: stay ready so you don't have to get ready. And like you say, that's something that you can learn just to be ready at all times. And it's not to belittle or bash the homie that went through this, right? Because honestly, you win some and you lose some. Yeah, but everybody's not recorded losing.
That's always the hard. That's the thing about videos now, and everything is the instant that you can get it around the world instantly. Like when you used to fight before, you had to go home. It had to be a word of mouth.
Lick your wounds and
boom, boom, and you can maybe even change the story a little bit.
Yeah, you can.
Now you can't.
But it's serious. Dan says they jeopardize the business owners' investments. They jeopardize the livelihood of all the employees. They jeopardize their safety and the safety of everyone around. We ban people even if they fight somewhere else. Both parties involved are not welcome at the catalyst anymore. And thank you for that, Dan. And that's something you have to think about. There's a lot going on, man. There's a lot of fights, a lot of people, a lot of pent up frustration, a lot of anxiety, a lot of, it's a lot going on in people's lives. So, just, take a breath, take a step back, compose yourself, buckle up, make sure you got your britches up.
Everybody needs a class of like conflict resolution.
Yes.
Everything
could be done quicker.
No, I mean everything don't have to go into brawl, because this was like, just think about all them people, because everybody in the club was fighting that night.
Well, are you
almost? You saw that? Like,
no, I didn't. So I seen it. But what I didn't see is because I just thought it was crews. You know how crews come and one person get into it, and then you stand it shoulder to shoulder with your crew. And so
those crews was pretty big. Let me say that.
Yeah, they're rolling deep.
Yeah.
Shout out to them boys. But think about if we can use our energy and time to something else positive, right? when we can take those 9, 10, healthy young men and get them into something positive, something constructive to do with their energy and their time. Because some of them boys, could be MMA fighters, right?
Boxers, anything.
You never know.
Right.
But you around here fighting in the club and worrying about if somebody gonna shoot you when you get to the parking lot.
And, so here we go. Let's look at it on another aspect. Is because it's went viral and the person is extremely embarrassed.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? You could say whatever
I
you
hope
want.
women got tough skin.
Yeah, that's where I'm going with it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Suck it up. You can't win them all. You was jumped. You know what I mean?
He was banging. He was throwing
he was until he, so you ain't got nothing. I mean, you got you can stand on like until you slip. Yeah. You was handling your own. So don't go in there and think that you have to take it somewhere else.
Yeah.
Because you know what I mean?
Thank you for that.
Yeah, like that's like when you look at it, this call a spade, like
it happened. Let's move on.
And honestly, hey, if y'all got to bang out again outside of the club, just do some hands.
The bang out.
No, do some hands. Like no, because this is real stuff. Like you talking about it, don't take it no further than it has to be. The hands incident, but just not in nobody establishment.
And don't jeopardize.
And I'm not condoning violence. I'm trying to reduce it.
Yeah, and I thank you for that because they think it was Boss Man D-Lo. Right, it's going around on the internet that it was Boss Man D-Lo. So it's such a crazy scenario, right? And we don't want to have big feuds going into summer, right? We want to try to taper some of this stuff down. We exercising a little conflict resolution here today, right? By talking about it, because you have to talk about it, but then you also have to move on.
Yeah.
And speaking of moving on,
we can move on. Honestly, just we got to figure out. And I know this goes with your manhood.
It do.
You know what I mean? Like you got to go home to your lady, and and because that's the captions, right? The internet never fails.
It don't. You can't win versus the internet, so don't even try.
Nah, but figure out how to flip it in the good and go from there.
Hey man,
easier said than done, but hey, we're supporting y'all here.
Yes, we supporting a safe summer. We supporting community resolutions to this stuff. And we want to turn down the violence. We want to turn down the fist fights, and get into some conversations, talk about it, work it out, and move on. Let's get to this paper, y'all.
Yep.
Okay. Up next, World War III. Is there a World War III? That's what we should say.
Yeah.
So,
do you see it come? The world is just kind of.
So, if for those who didn't know, Iran and Israel have been going through. There's been rockets fired. Israel started what they call a preemptive strike against Iran and bombed their targets. They also bombed and killed soldiers, and the right hand man and the head nuclear physicist, and like real high level people. And now America is getting involved. Well, we've flown out, different fighter jets. We've got in a posture where we're gonna get in it. China is helping the other team. So that's why the World War III aspect comes in, because these what they call proxy wars, right? And they want to fight Israel, but they don't want to directly fight them. So what they'll do is help the person who's fighting them. You understand? They'll flush them with guns and
that's the same thing is fighting them. In my mind.
But they call it proxy. They call it proxy because they're not actually the ones fighting. And what I think they're doing, I think they're leading America into war, right? And I don't think we need to go to war. I don't think that we need to be in the Middle East, wherever that is, fighting preemptive fights for other countries. I think that we have enough issues here in this country we need to take care of. But I know how politics is, and right now the politicians feel that we have to get into this. And that's why we need to vote in some politicians that don't feel that way. Because honestly, y'all, these individuals have been elected by lobbyists for Israel. Mm-hmm. They have PACs that lobby American politicians. So when an incident like this does occur, they'll have the necessary votes to potentially go to war. And I think that that's a travesty for the American citizens. Mm-hmm. And the reason being is because 90% of the time we don't want to be involved in these conflicts as a people.
So they say they are supporting our allies. I think that's what they said.
Yes, and that's what Big Dog was doing in the bar too. He was supporting his allies too. and all I'm saying is,
and sometimes you don't want to be called in other people's fight.
Yes, and we have to be judicious, or how can I say, not judicious, but we have to be smart enough to avoid these type of conflicts, because a lot of people don't know the end of the world, Armageddon, in the Bible. There are world leaders that are attempting to hasten the return of the Messiah, or the return of, like, these people live in Revelations. They want to start the war that will bring back in their minds, and we just got to be aware of these things and not get caught up in the in the transition.
So I mean, pay attention to the news. That's what I would say. It's a lot of stuff going on. Politics is a little bit of everywhere.
It is. It's a lot.
We have still California going on here.
Yes. But people don't know California has been protesting on the bans, or not the bans, but the immigrant and the ICE raids. So there's been maybe a week worth of protests going on now.
I think it's been a little bit longer than that. Cheyenne was there. Well, Cheyenne's back there, but she was there last week. And like I say, they have curfews down there. They got curfews. They have everything. So everything is kind of shut down at a certain point of time in California. And so they're sending the National Guard out there. They're doing a lot of stuff. So here in our own country, we see a little stuff going on. So everybody just, stay knowledgeable.
Yes. And, it's not an election season right now, right?
Not a major election.
Yeah. You have cities and different municipality elections, but I'm talking about like the big boy, 2026, 27, these next big elections coming up.
But I will tell you, if you're looking at running for office, this is the time that you really should have got in prior. But if you're thinking about it, get in now and start doing the work.
Yes. And before we get there, we need active people who are elected leaders that we can support, y'all. I just can't imagine if we would have elected Kamala Harris. And a lot of people, got this and that to say, but right now we're in turmoil like never before. But it's only been 160 days.
Yeah, but do you think, I don't think we would be where we're at right now.
No, we wouldn't. Because a lot of the stuff that's being done because she wasn't operating from Project 2025.
Right.
She was probably operating from Project 27, 28 or whatever, but she wasn't operating from this particular program. And so all we got to do, like as a community, we got to band together and build from the bottom to the top, y'all. So get involved, whether it's volunteering at your neighborhood association, neighborhood cleanups, just first start getting involved, learning this stuff, and then start electing the people that we need to help make change.
Yeah.
And Mama Blue, big shouts out to Mama Blue. And before I even go a step further, tomorrow, June 19th.
It's a couple of events tomorrow, but go ahead.
June 19th.
Yeah. Juneteenth
at 5:30 at Tampa Theater. There will be a Juneteenth Film Festival. This is a free event, right? Is at the historic Tampa Theater. Big shouts out to Film Tampa Bay, Dreammakers Productions, and the one and only Cranston Cumberbatch, who curated this amazing festival. Big shouts out to Miss Debbie Yachty. Can't say it enough. The whole Dreammakers. Tampa Bay Black Art and Film Festival, the Sunshine City Film Festival. You guys are here today, are invited, cordially invited to tomorrow's Juneteenth celebration, June 19th, 5:30 at the historic Tampa.
Now, do you dress up again? Because last year we got dapper.
Red carpet. You can come as you are, right? But you are encouraged to dress up in your nicest gear, right? We're gonna beat up.
Wear your Sunday's best.
Yes, we're gonna beat up at like 9 o'clock. You know what I'm saying? 10ish. We're gonna find an after party somewhere to get in, and y'all all welcome.
So I will say that pop the bottles, go over there. I mean,
you know it's a champagne campaign going on.
If champagne campaign is your thing, you're gonna keep on doing. But also, if you don't have tickets for the other event, make sure
it is another event.
It is.
And what time is it? So
5:30 to 7:30.
So we're talking about the Juneteenth events, right? Big shots. Oh my bad. Big shots out to the Pinellas County Urban League. They're going to be doing the Boots on the Ground concert. With 805. What is it?
803 Fresh.
804 Fresh. 803 Fresh. Okay. Boots on the ground. I got my boots on the ground. And yes, like you said, or if you want to mingle between both,
you can, because one is at 7:30,
and then you can come over across the bridge. You're gonna still be there popping bottles.
Champagne campaign.
It's a champagne campaign. It's only. It ain't got nothing to do with nobody else. But yeah, because we want to support all the events. Definitely big shots out to the whole Urban League staff who put this together. It was canceled. Postponed.
It was postponed because he had to perform for the NBA. So if you watch the game, he hit the stage. He
right.
It was on the ground. It was boots on the ground for the NBA. The NBA called, but I mean that was a good call. You know, if you're gonna postpone, well, let's go get into it.
I ain't like it. How you gonna postpone us for the NBA?
How you not?
That's neither here nor there.
No. Let's talk about it. How you not?
Because your contract says it.
I know, but
that's how not.
So let me tell you. Okay,
that's why you put contracts in place.
This is because you could. But this is what happens: is you put contracts in place. What would have happened is I would have paid whatever, right, with the contract, and then you would have refunded the money back. But
I hear you.
And good business sense, you want to do good business with people, right? And so if the NBA call, and because again, you can't get booked early for this because you don't know where it's gonna be at and where you at, like what's going on that day, like where the game gonna be at, because it depends on who wins, right? And where they're gonna be at, and then they book their artists late. So you're one of the hottest artists, and I call you, and then believe me, I love St. Pete. But you're not going to get the audience from St. Pete that you're going to get from the NBA All-Star game. Right? Jabbar? Oh, my Lord. The NBA All-Star game. You so much.
Yes.
And then,
I was dark. You called me that. You threw me up.
No, I ain't throw you up. I actually got your attention.
Yeah, you bought it back.
But then what also helped is that now people who may have didn't know who 803 Fresh is, they do, and they gave them more time to get even more ticket sales.
That is the hope. And we
stop being
I'm just
a Debbie Downer.
I ain't Debbie Downer. I'm just saying that's how you hope for it to happen. And we wishing the Urban League the best with this event. Boots on the ground. A lot of people have been singing the song, so now you get to meet
the fans. So yeah, I'm gonna be in the building.
Yes,
I'm going. I'm gonna try to do both though.
Yes, I'm gonna be at Tampa.
But you
don't have to pick one or the other.
No,
you can pick both. But also we're gonna make it real simple for you. If you want to stay here and support the Urban League, we give you our blessings to do that. You know, I'm a former president of the Urban League Young Professionals. So for me, you know, it's a win-win situation, whether you come across the bridge to the historic Tampa Theater for the Juneteenth Film Festival, or you stay here for the Boots on the Ground. You got my support for any decision you make.
And there's other Juneteenth celebrations going on. Go and celebrate.
You know, everybody do it on the weekend.
I know, but there's still other ones probably out there. Just go and celebrate Juneteenth.
Yes, and especially go to either the historic Tampa Theater for the Juneteenth Film Festival or the Boots on the Ground celebration by the Pinellas County Urban League. I think this is amazing because I love to see the Urban League doing things like this.
And so listen, the Urban League actually, since we talking about it, is like really stepped their game up.
Yeah, I think it's no. I think when Nikki came, I think the energy and the attitude that she brought to the position. Mm-hmm. And if y'all I'm talking about Nikki Gasket Capehart, mm-hmm. the president of the Urban League, who took over.
Somebody tag in.
Yes, please. Who took over after Watson, rest in peace, mm-hmm. Haynes had passed. Because there was a moment and people didn't really know which way we're going to go. We had the intern and people didn't know. When Nikki came, it gave a direction.
She gave a new life to it. You know what I mean? You fresh eyes. Yeah. It's always so. Listen, a lot of times what we do in our community is that we have great ideas. We do stuff and we hold on it so tight, and we don't want to pass the baton to somebody else, and we end up smothering it. Right, because I know. We don't bring new people in to give it fresh life.
Yep.
Right. Yep. You always have to, you got to mow your grass. You got to do all that stuff to keep your grass looking nice. And we got to think about that with these positions that we have. Is that even if you play a part, it's okay to bring new people in to give it a new brand look, a new look. You change the paint on your house every now and then.
I agree with that so much. I agree with that so much, and I think that's a big reason I stepped down as president of the Urban League Young Professionals, mm-hmm. In an attempt to bring new life, in an attempt to bring new leadership, and not just hold a position because I could.
Right.
You get what I mean? I wasn't gonna be unelected no time soon.
Right.
But the reality is, I was 4 years into a 2-year term. You get what I'm saying? So it's like, okay, do I stay here 8, 7, 10 years, or do I pass the torch while I still fire on the torch? And I think that's the spot we have to be in, because we want to run the whole race, but there comes a time when we have to pass the baton and let Shakira bring it home.
Right. And I mean, and just because you're passing the baton necessarily don't mean that you have to leave completely.
But it's status that come with it. I'm gonna tell you, I'm finna tell you.
When
I stepped down as president, mm-hmm. It's not the same. It really isn't. I'm just being
That's
honest.
kind of like when people leave relations, when they leave celebrity, it's not the same. Like when I'm somebody, and when I'm somebody of somebody, I can walk I can walk in any room. You know what I mean? Oh, I can do.
No, you can still walk in any room.
No, but but you gotta wait in the line. I hear that. Okay, no. So when you talk about the status of stuff, people stay in. Oh my God, people stay in situations or even positions because of the power that comes along with it. Because when you do step out of things, then you don't have that power anymore. And so,
that's why people stay in those positions.
This
so
is
long.
True.
I mean, I agree with you. I'm hearing you.
You started this conversation,
but no, I'm here with you because I'm. And right now we're talking about leadership and passing the torch. And
it started out about Nikki, Capehart
taking over the Urban League after the passing of Watson Haynes. Thank you.
I know, but you got but it's boom, 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 boom.
And then so after she took over, we say it was new life brought into the organization
because she brought so many great ideas. And what I do like is
doing the boots on the ground concert.
They've been doing line dance.
102 fresh up here today.
I don't think he's here today.
Call us.
Oh,
we gotta work. Don't worry, Nikki. I'm gonna reach out to you because we gonna line this up because we gonna have these events.
But they got like these business seminars that they're doing to help brand new, new business,
food truck rallies, and this is new energy, mm-hmm. and this is what we're talking about. And I related it to passing the torch and not just sitting on the crown.
And what I do like is that they're reaching out to the community and letting the community come in and help them. Like different companies out, like small companies come in and help. Like Mitchum Services.
Okay, big shout out to Mitchum Services.
Mitchum Services is everywhere. You know what I mean? So
they're doing Juneteenth right now.
And and Mitchum Services has something that helped out with boots on the ground. So what I'm saying is like you
in on that? Is you in on the boots on the ground?
No, well, I mean, the Tampa Bay Breakfast Club did have our tickets and our promo. Jabbar.
I'm trying to backdoor.
No, you're gonna be in Tampa.
Hey, listen, I can do both. I am a man of many wonders.
Oh my Lord.
Big shouts out to the whole Dream Makers team. I can't say this enough. Get you a team and do your work.
Okay, so let's talk about the team.
Okay.
Let's talk about the team. Because over here we believe in collaboration and not competition.
Yep, we do.
And when you're looking at a lot of times we get bitter when something don't go our way, right? Or when
it's human,
and you're entitled to your feelings.
But your feelings are not facts,
but they're real.
And it's a fact that I feel this way,
right? But when you look at the better good of like situations, sometimes it is time to move on. But you have to have a strong team.
Yeah.
Right. So picking your team players and your teammates to come in is very
it's very important.
Very, very important. And then learning how to, when you come into something, to reach back to the person, if they're there, if they're still living, or reach out to their team to see if you can bridge a gap.
I hear you. Go ahead, keep going.
You know what I mean? You bridge a gap, because when you talk about new life and giving passing the torch, a part of that, like when a baby is born, they still need their parents.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. To kind of mold them and guide them in the right direction. So when you're coming in different positions and stuff like that, it's okay to look back and take mentorship guidance, leadership from somebody else who did it prior. And that doesn't mean that you have to do everything they did, but to eliminate some of the hurdles that you are going to foresee, it's good to be able to say, hey, I still need your help.
And I'm thanking you for those words, because that's wisdom, living from the experience of someone else and not necessarily having to do it yourself. And I think right now we have a huge wisdom deficit in our community, right? They call it the brain drain or whatever, because we're not taking and using the information from the past or from the person who's passing us the torch. We usually just take the torch and run off, right? And we don't sit under their tree and get the mentorship. And that is important.
Right.
Right. Because I think a lot of times every team has its star player, right? And star players, and understanding that, but also understanding that you ain't did it. Somebody else has done it, and now you can learn from them. Or you can just, blaze your trail and
then you go through that. You go, but then, so if you're anything about a relay, it's all about timing. So when you're handing off that baton, because you have teammates, right? And you want to win this race. If you are second late.
Yeah, he dropped it. Or whatever. Yeah.
It slows you down. If somebody got to slow down to grab your baton, they have now lost seconds on the clock, and somebody else is passing them by.
And y'all may have lost the race.
Right. You could get disqualified for not practicing and not going back to the mentorship that you need, or listening to your coach. Because you could take them as coaches. A lot of times we got to get out of our way and stop saying, like, now it's mine, I don't need them.
Yes, that's the mindset. I think, we get like that. Sometimes it's ego, but also it is sometimes the accomplishment of achieving something that you work for, or get into a status or a position that you work for, or looked at someone else doing for so long. And you want to leave your print. You want to leave your mark. And that's really what you're supposed to do. You
are, but a part of now this is just a Keanu thing. A part of leaving your mark is showing homage to the person who did it prior to you. Right. And saying, hey, like, I thank you, because you can't be here without that person.
Yeah, without you, there's no me.
Right. Because you had to run this race prior to me. And yes, the idea of the person who did it prior, you should want me to do it better. You should want, because you wanted to grow. You wanted to sustain and keep on going, where your legacy keeps moving, because you are always going to be a part of that legacy.
I mean, listen, I agree. But for that same reason is why people don't, because some people that you follow up are like a shadow, and you're standing in their shadow. I got another instance. When I took over president for Childs Park, neighborhood association after Brother John went to city council. And we all love your Brother John, and we all know Brother John, but that's a huge shadow to stand under. That's a huge, and if you're not secure in yourself, you will find yourself trying to outdo your predecessor and not do the job, right? And that's one thing that I had to keep and make sure that, hey, I'm not replacing him, right? I'm filling the position.
But you are replacing. So
I'm not replacing.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm filling the position, right? Because a replacement is like, okay, that TV go out, I replace it and get a new TV. What we're doing is more of a chain, like a chain. It's a new link to the chain. How the chain gets stronger and longer. We're like building a human chain, and I think that the replacement aspect puts the pressure on. But when we're building a chain, I know I got the support of that former leader. I know that I know that we're together because we're the chain. I didn't replace him. He's not gone.
You just added another link.
Yes, I was the new link. I was a part of the link in that chain. And I think that if I would have tried to replace him, I would have found myself, digging myself in a hole, right? Because it would have been like there's nothing I can do to top what just been done. You know what I got to do? No, that's why I don't look at it that way. I look at it like, okay, you know what? I'm here to do my part. And my part is when that next leader comes to hand them a thriving or to hand them something.
But a problem of the part of like doing that link is that when you add it, you're supposed to be stronger than that last link.
Okay,
you
or strong ass.
As strong. You got to be as strong as because you do want to elevate. Like you don't want to stay stagnant. So let's take you and Brother John. Like when Brother John did his thing, you should add on to whatever he did and make it greater.
Yes.
So we should think of like, hey, we're gonna stay right here, and that's nothing wrong with that. You should want whoever. Like I know, like I think I'm great, but I want my daughter to be greater. All the things that I did and I accomplished and I'm giving to her, I want her to upgrade it 10 times.
Yeah.
And whoever, when she have her kids should up her even more. And if my child is less than me, then I didn't do right. Now that's how I feel.
Yeah.
Like I want to give her so much that she, like, I may only be able to grow collard greens, but now she can grow collard greens, mangoes, pineapples, and so on. Like we want to harvest great fruit, a great food that it lasts a lifetime, and then we expand from there. So we have to stop like, hey, like being the greatest leader. Like at this time, I was the greatest they ever seen. But do you want that to be it for the position?
And people don't. And I agree with you 10,000% because you want to continue to grow. And if you don't continue to grow, you become stagnant. When you're stagnant, you die out. So big shouts out to everything that's going on at the Urban League. Big shouts out to Brother John. He's back. Head of Child's Park, and so like I said, it's a chain link. You know what I'm saying? And I passed it back to him.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? So it's something to be
teamwork
said.
Makes the dream work. And when you look at it wraps up kind of what we're saying: collaboration over competition.
Yes.
And when you look at it, just even if you sit out for a second, it takes a village to make everything happen. Nobody does anything by self.
No.
And so you need the people. And sometimes the star player got to sit out for a little time, get some rest. You get injured. You got to nurse your wounds. You got to take some rest, and somebody else. Fall back sometimes. A good leader knows when they need to fall back, and they don't always have to be in the spotlight.
And they know when to step up. I think like you were saying, as we get into these groups and this leadership process, this community leadership, this community advocacy, whether it's a business, no matter what, when you inherit or you take over somebody that was great and doing an amazing job, don't let your ego get in your way.
Either way.
Yeah.
On either end.
Yes. But it's usually and I'm gonna say usually, but just focus on the fact that you can learn from the predecessor who held your position previously.
And the predecessor need to say, hey, I'm gonna help the person that came in.
I mean, it depends how they went out.
But no, but you can't ask me to no. But this is what I'm saying. Like you can't tell me to respect you and then you don't have to respect me.
No.
But that's what you said. Depending, like you gotta take.
But you have to respect the person and not let them disrespect you. But at the same time, you can't worry about the energy that they're gonna put out because some former leaders didn't want to leave, and they look at you as the Achilles heel to their career, their greatness. This was big as I ever been, and now here come this little joker talking about he changing things.
But that's I get that. But the whole conversation is bring it together. Like so listen, so the intention of this conversation, we know that people are bitter. We know people got egos and don't want to.
That's why we talking about it.
This is why we talking about it, right? No, we know that sometimes people get something and forget about the past. Yep. And then some people from who was a part or was the leadership prior, didn't want to give it up and don't want to give anything to the future.
Yes.
And what we're trying to say is put all that aside and think of the better good of everything in the whole. Do you have to be right or does the situation needs to be right? Yep. I live by that. Mm-hmm. And so we got to start taking eye out of it and think about everybody as the whole. And
go
ahead.
No, I'm glad you said that because what we have become a hyper individualistic culture, right? And this goes back to what we was talking about earlier, where I know if I record this video, Facebook gonna give me $100, $500, and I don't care how my community looks, right? And that's that hyper individual, right? Because if I care how my community look and take care of my community,
thanks, Dan. You have an amazing day too.
I will produce more than $100, $500 that Facebook gave me because my community will produce more. But if I tear my community down for those $500, you get what I'm saying? It's individualism. And I think we don't think enough as a group, right? Speaking specifically to, the Black community, African community, the community in the hood, we don't think enough as a group. And the group think or the group mentality is frowned upon, but we need it to grow. We need to have a group philosophy, a group mentality so that we can move in a collective direction. Because right now we just wandering aimlessly around, don't want to listen to the seniors and the elders, don't want to listen to, and a lot of that is just turning down wisdom. We're turning down knowledge and it's because of ego. I think we just got to get ego out the way, collaborate, grow our organizations, grow our institutions, working from the past, present to the future. Because just like we're talking about when someone takes over an organization going back, but then we also got to plug in and forward. We got to energize and educate the future as well, because if they didn't do it in the past, that's how we get where we at today. And if we want to go somewhere better or further, like you said, we got to put that into the future. We got to pay it forward.
We got to pay it forward. Yeah. Ooh. So link up. Link up.
You heard it here first. Link up.
Link up. Yeah. And pay homage to everybody. Like just respect. You don't have to be best friends to respect what somebody else did, and you don't have to like everything they did to show that they still did something good. You can find something good in everything. You can find you really can. If you're looking for it. And you can find something negative in everything if you're looking for it as well.
That's right.
The most horrible people, you can still find somebody said that they showed them some compassion at one point in time. You'll hear it. You'll hear it.
I don't know. I'm just saying. Hey, but yeah, you're listening to the Tampa Bay Breakfast Club. We about to wrap it up. I feel good to be back. We talking about leadership, passing the torch, putting the egos to the side, and not just thinking about thinking about we, right? Thinking about us as a collective, as we go out and we do the things we do, as we party, club, hang out. Think about the collective, man. Think about us as a group, right? Because like right now we watching those videos and stuff, and we saying, "Oh, St. Pete." We being defensive. We saying this and we saying that, but the reality is that's us. When you looking at homie on the ground and clothes getting pulled off, that's us. That ain't just him. He ain't the only person on that ground right then. Yeah, right then he's the only one on the ground, but in the whole circumference or the whole scheme of things, we're on the ground,
right? Because and what you see is they'll say St. Pete. You go somewhere, and then when you go somewhere, oh no, them St. Pete people don't know how to act. So they
go to the Bahamas. They say we don't know how to act. Listen, I'm tired of this right now.
We done went viral by the Bahamas.
Listen, y'all. We gonna go viral. We need.
Nah, let me tell you this. We will link up. It's like you. This is a real family. Like we can talk about each other.
But you better
not say not one word about us because we're gonna link up.
That's why I'm talking about it right now. You know,
because we have the ability of linking up, and we've seen it when it was St. Pete versus Tampa, St. Pete versus Jacksonville, St. Pete versus the world.
This is crazy. And listen, because I honestly think that, like, when you look at those videos, think about it. Think that's your cousin, that's your homeboy, that's your friend down there, right? And we fighting each other. We pulling the clothes off each other. Right. And that's what we don't need to do. That's what we got to change. We got to look at it like that. Like, dang, before I share this, that's my cousin. Yeah. Guess what? It's gonna get one less share. Right. It's gonna go one less. It's gonna go to one less cell phone or get in one less group because, like I said, we in it together. Whether we from St. Pete, Tampa, Brady, and Sarasota, we are all in this together, y'all. And we got to start taking it like that because don't call now. Don't call now. But yeah, we definitely got to think about, us unity. We got to think about the team, the group think, right? Sometimes that group think is horrible. Yeah, that's when you got the wrong group thinking for you. Yeah. But when you thinking for each other, for the betterment of each other, it's a great thing.
Right. It really is. Don't
do it. If you see somebody going on, don't record it. You only recording it because you want some clout. You hoping Facebook,
but you know what? No, it ain't. You Facebook know what? Gonna pay you. But see, you can't say don't record because you never know. Because you don't know where.
Thank you.
Like when you look at it, because you don't know where it's going. Yeah, right. And so you might
need you to record.
Right. We're not
like the George Floyd young girl. Right. We might need this video for prosperity in the future.
Right. But just when you think about the embarrassment of this young guy,
I'm telling you, that's us.
And
that ain't just him, that's us. We all on that ground.
Right.
We all down there getting, the business handed to us.
And they say we all look alike.
That's us. It ain't just him down there, that's us. We all down there. We got to think like that because if we want to move our community and move ourselves forward, we got to stop thinking, oh, nah, that ain't me. That ain't me.
But I will tell you this, while we're talking about that, there were so many other great things that happened on Father's Day.
What? Tell me.
We was at the Cat. Cheyenne performed live.
That was amazing.
That was a pop-up show.
That was amazing.
I mean? You have Urban Drinkery. I know they did. There were so many other things that happened over the weekend.
Urban Drinkery did I'm just playing.
I'm just saying, and man, they might didn't do nothing on Father's Day. But what I'm saying is that there was a great events all over the weekend that didn't go viral. And then this one fight,
it go viral,
and this is what now determines, or then is the highlight of it, and you think that's who we are. So a 2-minute fight kept a 24-hour day.
Yes.
And so
nobody knew about what happened.
Right. Nobody's talking about those 23 hours and 58 minutes because this was a 2-minute fight. Right?
Yes.
23 hours and 58 minutes. There were all great things that happened. And we let that define what Father's Day was.
Listen, this is amazing. Because you so right, and we can't let the worst of us define the best of us, or all of us.
And that's why at the end of the show, I always say, write down the 5 things that made you feel good, made you feel, make you happy, make you giggle, make you appreciate life, because you will find that you find more goodness during your day than the bad. But we let the one thing that happened dictate the rest of the day. And we didn't appreciate all the beautifulness that happened throughout our whole day.
and I'm gonna say this is gonna be my final word.
All right, go ahead.
We have been trained to laugh at our brothers falling. That's why I started with saying what the minister said. If you see your brother fall, don't laugh. Learn. Right? Because there's a duty that we have not only to ourselves but to each other in our community.
All right. And then you say when you wrap up the weekend, one hood under God.
Ooh, one hood under God.
Right.
At Child's Park on YMCA.
On Sunday.
Yes, on Sunday. I'll be there. I'm pull up. If you
listen, Brother Nuri was here. Yeah. He called in. We had Nuri
Muhammad.
Yeah, we did an awesome interview.
Go check out the last show
on Monday with him. He called in. And if you don't know who he is, I don't know where you been.
Yes. Educate yourself. Go back and check it out. And tomorrow, don't miss it. Juneteenth Film Festival at the historic Tampa Theater. Big shouts out to Film Tampa Bay, Dreammakers Production, Sunshine City Film Festival, everybody. Curator, Cranston Cumberbatch. Big shouts out to the whole team. It's Debbie. We love y'all. And I'm here for it.
And Mama Blue came.
Mama Blue, what it do?
You got to do that. And then, boots on the ground.
Got them boots on the ground.
With that being said, this has been the Tampa Bay Breakfast Club. Stay tuned for Sister Hugh.
Lose your shoes and shot all around the house.
And this has been Kiana.
And I'm the one and only Mr. Edmund.
And we are out.
World Service, where people fixing the world looks at innovative solutions to the world's problems.
Tourists hiking with street dogs in Mexico and fake pigeon eggs in Germany.
They swap them. Pigeons don't even notice.
WUJM, St. Petersburg.
With brilliant ideas.
99 Gems. The Bird.
And 21 GMT.
Right now. Peace and light. This is your brother John, and I would like to invite you to tune in to the Tampa Bay Breakfast Club on 99.